Hi, everyone, and welcome to Angel Healing House, and welcome to the 221st episode of Walk In Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom for this upcoming week of August 11th through August 17th, 2025. My name is Claire Candy Hoff, and my name is also Angel Ariel, as I had an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003, which I write about in my award-winning #1 Amazon International bestseller, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of Angel Ariel. Now, this is the sequel to my other #1 Amazon International bestseller, which is One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness. These books can be found on my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, and they are also available in print, in Kindle, on Amazon, and for those that absolutely adore listening to audiobooks, they are available also in audiobook form on Audible. I'd like to thank those people who have liked and shared, subscribed to my Claire Candy Hoff YouTube channel. It's absolutely free to become a subscriber. And when you do subscribe, you will receive notification when I upload new videos. I'd like to thank those people who have made generous donations for my free content. If you would like to donate, I have left my PayPal link in the description box down below with all of my contact details for my remarkable business Angel Healing House. And that's www.angelhealinghouse.com. Now, here on Walk In Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom, every week we choose runes, we choose tarot cards, we choose oracle cards to get additional messages from my angelic family, who I'm part of as Angel Ariel. We are known as the Posse of Angels, but we always look first into the astrological heavens to see what planetary and celestial energies will be affecting us. Now, first up is how is everyone doing after the build-up to the culmination of the Lion's Gateway portal yesterday on 8/8. And we want to ask you, how many multiple number sequences did you see? Yesterday on 8/8, I saw one license plate that was 666. I saw two license plates that had 777. I saw two license plates with triple eights, and one plate I saw had five, count them, five eights on the 8/8. Wow. These sightings of these multiple numbers simply meant that you're not only on the right track, but you have pretty much made it through this enormous gateway portal. Now, for many in the collective, this felt like a massive shift, a strange intuitive feeling that what they'd been waiting for the longest time had finally shown up. Although for most people, there was no tangible physical results of this, just a deep intuitive knowing that at the core of their very being, that something was very different, something shifted. That difference for many is that there's no more waiting for something to happen. And B, there might be a feeling of peace, regardless of their outside circumstances, a feeling that they are and will always be guided and supported by God's source creator and their spiritual team. So not only is there no need for worry, fear, or doubt, but these have been replaced by an overwhelming confidence and assurance of calmness within. Now, the posse of angels is grinning from ear to ear, and they're agreeing. They're saying, yes, the more this month progresses, the more many will get to wear the countenance of these high, blissful, sovereign energies. They'll get used to being in realms of rarefied frequencies. Oh, and they are quick to remind us that although the Lionsgate portal did culminate yesterday on 8/8, it does not close until August 12th. So, although the intensity of the energies will decrease with each day, we will still be integrating and having the full use of these amazing higher energies. So be really, really careful what you think, what you say, the actions you take, because they will manifest very quickly. Now, the posse of angels is hearing some of your thoughts. Sleepless nights, feeling fatigued and exhausted, being peaceful and calm one moment, and then feeling despair the next are not amazing for many people. But the posse of angels is assuring us that these are wonderful indicators that our bodies are shifting. They're integrating these higher frequencies. They're getting us used to living in the higher dimensions. And they're saying it's a small price to pay for being part of humanity's greatest shift on the planet. Today, August 9th, we have a full moon in Aquarius, which will help to purge and release anyone or anything that no longer nourishes us. Any outdated relationships or self sacrifices that we have made for the sake of being validated or approved of must go. Sayonara, see you. By doing so, it invites us to reveal our true self, our real self to the world. And we can do this by celebrating and embracing our uniqueness, which leads to the ultimate freedom of being unashamedly ourselves. It's our authenticity that will attract the tribe that will recognize our divine eternal natures within and truly see our radiant, reclaimed soul shining its brightest. In last week's video, I mentioned the asteroid Chariklo, Chariklo, that is very prominent under this Aquarius full moon today, who is said to be the oracle of spirit medicine. Now, Chariklo is encouraging us to use the powerful energy of the divine feminine, the goddess, Mother Nature, to heal with grace. In this way, we let karma really work itself out when we experience less than wonderful treatment from others, choosing to remain peaceful, loving, forgiving, and compassionate no matter what circumstances we draw to ourselves, because we take responsibility for having drawn whatever it is to ourselves. Now, do remember that under this powerful full moon, which is eliciting a time of releasing, surrendering, and letting go, we still have Mercury in retrograde, which is making us feel as if we have to tie up loose ends. We have to declutter. We have to get rid of things in order to prepare for what's coming, even if we don't know what's coming. This may feel a bit like a push me, pull you energy, as high spirited Aquarius wants us to go full speed ahead and to really get things done. Yet Mercury is asking us, whoa, be patient and check again if you've dotted every I and you've crossed every T. Then on August 11th, after being in retrograde since July 18th, Mercury finally, slowly stations direct. Hallelujah! As things like creative projects and communications can start to flow forward again. All of those stalled, hidden, and misdirected pieces of communications that might have been waylaid and delayed can now begin to be presented to give us important information that can now give us clarity and direction. Do remember that receiving communications may still be somewhat slow, as Mercury will be in its post-shadow phase and not gain full momentum forward until August 25th. Then on August the 12th, we have a simply magical union when Venus and Jupiter come together in the sign of Cancer, sitting cozy in Cancer's soft energies. These two planets, with their energies, which is all about abundance, give us a sense that anything is possible, and money may suddenly see an overflowing of potentials manifesting in their lives. Venus conjunct Jupiter brings in a time where our Venus, or our value, our beauty, our harmony, our inner talents and abilities, meet the blessings, good fortune, and expansion of Jupiter, who is now wishing to shower us with those blessings. Remember that conjunctions are a time of planting seeds and new beginnings to storylines. It is this enchanted alignment that sets things in motion for the most magical rest of 2025 to unfold. Now, my angelic family, the posse of angels, is sharing some advice as to how to integrate these new higher energies with what they are calling their Boost Your Electrons package. Firstly, get at least 10 to 20 minutes of direct or indirect sunlight every single day. The same sunshine that works its magic and helps the plants, the flowers, and the trees to grow will work wonders for you too. Secondly, walk barefoot on the grass to engage with the heartbeat of Mother Earth and regulate and bring your energies back to peace and tranquility. Thirdly, this is one of my personal favorites. Go hug a tree. And as an added bonus, have a conversation with it. They are truly some of the best listeners. And fourthly, if you have one available, hug a pet, for they are one of the most wonderful electron generators. And like that little Energizer bunny that just keeps going and going and going, pets just keep on giving and giving and giving. By integrating higher elevated frequencies during this August 2025's Lions Gateway portal, many have regained their full, sovereign, divine power and are beginning to radiate higher frequencies. We may not be conscious of it, but by doing so, we actually become more polarizing to anything and anyone that does not carry the same evolved, elevated frequencies. Now, this is not about superiority, this is about energy. I have personally experienced this for the past 22 years since I, Angel Ariel, walked into Claire Candy's body. Now, in this way, your elevated light shines like a high-powered Christmas bulb, and you become impossible to not be seen. This magnetizes people to you that want to be in your energies and also love what you do. But very bright lights can also shed light into hidden shadows as well, and that may trigger others because your higher light frequency threatens those things within them that they have not healed yet. Once we step into fully embodying our highest coherence, our divine eternal natures, a world that is still holds much distortion will react in one way or another. So whether we are shown love or whether we're shown loathing is not important, as this is a reflection of what is held within another person and has nothing to do with us. We are here to be authentically, unapologetically true to who we are. And for many, this is the very purpose or our mission that we came back to fulfill at this time of the golden era of light returning to our beloved planet Earth. For additional messages today, the posse of angels directed me to my runes. And our first rune that came out is this one, is the rune of rebirth and growth, which is Berkana. The growth leads to the blossoming and the ripening of beings into new form. Exactly why we are integrating these Lions Gate portal energies so that we can blossom and we can finally be seen by the world. There's nothing jolting about this growth, as it's gentle, pervasive, and penetrating, and it will not miss affecting any aspect of our lives. Or, as one client said, almost every aspect of her life has come to a grinding halt, making her feel unseen, invisible, and abandoned before. But then, out of the blue, unexpectedly, something happened, and her whole world flipped, as if it flipped the script on her whole life. And she said this with absolutely astonished eyes. The complete surrender to all resistance, especially expectations and attachments, must be done at this time. The posse of angels is sharing that in order to release resistance, it will help greatly to be modest, to be humble, to be patient, fair, and generous, allowing our ripening to occur in divine timing. That is Berkana, rebirth and growth at this time. The next rune that came out, the integration of higher Lionsgate frequencies, our reflective timeout, which we just had, the 3 weeks under Mercury retrograde, and the excuse me, the surrendering energy of this Aquarius full moon. They've all combined to make a potent recipe for us to blossom into a new destined beginning. So how perfect is it that the next rune that comes out for us is this one? And some of you might be saying, Candy, you're holding it up the wrong way. But when I turn it around, it's still the blank rune. And the blank rune is here because it's an exciting confirmation. It's the evidence that we are about to contact our most divine destiny. We've wiped the slate clean. The blank rune shows us an ending, the death of any part of us that gave away our power in order to be valued, which diminished our sovereign, powerful energy. With every death comes a rebirth, which was confirmed by the rune Berkana. And many in the collective will be shown their first indicators to take their baby steps on their new path of service. The posse of angels is saying, please don't get ahead of yourself and try to figure out where things will progress, as miracles can't be figured out, and most certainly they can't be figured with rational thought, justification, or logic. And the posse of angels is predicting that when this new communication, this first indication they're saying as to where we will take our first baby steps, it will be a very emotional time. Many will well up with tears, finally being recognized and seen. Now, the posse of angels is saying that all that isolation and what many saw as abandonment was actually protecting us from a world that was not energetically ready yet to perceive, to hear, to comprehend, and to even see us. But now that we've reached the point of being seen, the third rune in this story that comes in is the rune of flow. It is Laguz, the rune of flow and water. The posse of angels is assuring us that unseen forces, spirit, is at work here, connecting people, planning all kinds of introductions, events, and intersections that will shape, flip the script on our lives, and nourish it in ways that we couldn't possibly ever figure out. The best things we can do now is to stay in the flow, is to immerse ourselves in the perfection of this present moment, become the excited, expectant observer, and wait on the hand of God to deal us our next sign to take action on. Beautiful runes, those. And since Mercury retrograde is still with us for a few more days, I decided to honor a past deck that I have not used in ages, absolute ages, and this deck is called The Chronicles of Destiny. I used to use this deck so much, and I love it because it opens like a book. Beautiful. I think that it's actually out of print, and I love the energies and I love the messages on it. Our first card in a 5 card story is What Else Should It Be But Mastery? It's number 54. This is a card which is absolutely appropriate to receive after the 8-8 gateway, for we have returned victorious from a long, challenging, arduous journey back to rediscovering ourselves. Through that sometimes harrowing journey, we've gained knowledge. We gained sage wisdom and experience. It's a time to use what we've learned to be in service to others. And if you all were already in service to others, many in the collective are going to be stepping into new ways of being of service. So mastery is our first card. The second card that came out, 54, we go to a 55 with Lady Spring. Lady Spring calls us forth after a time of winter, that isolation, feeling like abandonment, perhaps hiding away from the world to be ourselves, and really to be seen to embark on a new, authentic cycle, reflecting our divinity now, because we're ready. It speaks about growth and a fragile start, like all new buds first who first blossom and burst forth. Additional confirmation of our first rune that we chose, which was Berkana, with its reference to blossoming. The posse of angels wish to share, especially for those who have felt abandoned for a long time. Please do not rush into anything that we draw to ourselves, but see this time as a gentle, very gentle period of calm, allowing ourselves to ease into these rarefied, higher elevated frequencies, get used to this very new realm of higher dimension, and that many in the collective now find themselves in. So we had 54 to 55. Then we jump to 57. This is Lady Autumn. And Lady Autumn is the card of harvest. Jumping from 54, 55, skipping 56 and jumping to 57 tells me that our lives will be speeding up after this gentle time of budding, as this card does represent harvest, abundance, fruitful endeavors, collecting rewards, and all manner of things being fruitful. Perhaps a book that you wrote years ago and seemed to be faded away into oblivion suddenly gets recognition, and a well-known producer or director wishes to make it into a movie. Maybe someone who helped you, who you helped by devoting your time, your energy, and kindness and love, is now in the financial circumstances to invest in your projects and support your creative endeavors. This is definitely a time of being in abundance and a time of fruitful harvest. Next card that is coming out for us, we go back to 52, the castle. The castle represents our home, our family, our property, our hearth, where we feel warmed, comfortable, and have a sense of stability and security. For many in the collective, this is a surefire sign that they will not only be moving to a new location that more acutely represents their elevated energies, but it also indicates a new community that is of the same higher elevated frequencies. Now, the posse of angels, they're chiming in and they're sharing that property could also mean intellectual property, those things that we have created in the past that may now become recognized, sought after for others to invest in, as mentioned in the Lady Autumn message. So maybe that's what we're preparing for. We're preparing to move to new locations that present us with a whole new wealth of meeting new people and having new experiences to help us to step into those new paths of service. And the next card that we have, we go from a 52 down to a 42 with the card of victory, which is definitely the culmination of all of our efforts on our journey up until now. The message of triumph and success comes through loud and clear. Perhaps we've attained a goal, received acclaim, promotion, recognition for our accomplishments. It's certainly a time of great achievement for many in the collective, and all we need to do is to say thank you. Open our arms wide to receive what is so deservedly ours now to receive. How beautiful are those cards? Let's end with a favorite deck of mine. This is by Alana Fairchild. It's called the Kali Oracle. Very, very powerful cards. Let me choose one to finish off this wonderful reading. Rakana, the rune of blossoming. Oops, not that one. Blossoming and ripening and growth leads us to a blank slate now in which to create. And Laguz is being in the flow with the universe as we're creating those new lives. So wonderful. We're stepping into our mastery. Those new buds happening because of Lady Spring and the harvest of Lady Autumn. The castle leads us to where we're most comfortable and the people that feel most familiar in energetic signature to us. And of course, that last card of victory. 1, 2, 3 to end with. We have this one. Quite a scary looking card. Look at that. And it's Khadga. Khadga. A predestined series of events is due to occur according to divine timing. This has been orchestrated at a higher level to integrate the paths of people, your soul tribe, with whom you have soul contracts in this next part of your journey. Trust in the doors that close just as much as the doors that open for you as a result. Beautiful confirmation of the channeled messages that we got beforehand. I hope all that's been helpful for you. Do remember that Walk In Angel Ariel's Weekly Wisdom airs every week on Saturdays, and that you can find out more information about myself, Claire Candy Hoff, me, Angel Ariel, in the body of Claire Candy Hoff, the Posse of Angels, and all my wonderful services at my remarkable business, Angel Healing House. Please go to that website, which is angelhealinghouse.com, and it has more information about those channeled books. I am One True Home, Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and I Am an Angelic Walk-In. And not to forget, Angels of Faith, the book about how we do not die and we are divine and eternal. Go out, everyone, and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. I'm wishing you love, and as always, angel blessings. And I do look so forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.